What do you get when Rocky hangs up his gloves, Rambo puts away his knife? My friends, you get Tulsa King, starring Sylvester Stallone. Currently streaming on Paramount Plus. Welcome back to Tales of Two Bros. I am Angel.
I'm Adan.
Where we give you a review weekly, as well as my hair gets grayer and grayer. Spoilers. You just finished watching the first season of Tulsa King, right?
Yes, I have.
And what is your initial thoughts about it?
Overall, I think it's a good show. It's got some humor, a little bit of action. It's an interesting concept. This is going to be a deep cut because it's not the first time he plays like a mafioso character.
No.
But like for me, the thought that comes to mind is when he played Oscar. Mm-hmm. And he was a mob boss there, but that was a comedy. This is more on the serious side. Mobster goes fish out of water kind of situation, and I like it. I at first I was like I'm a little bit iffy, but it gives him a lot of you see his character has a lot of struggles and a lot of growths, which is a cool thing.
Right. For those who have not seen it yet, because it's only streaming on Paramount Plus, it's not on regular TV. And it can't be because there are cursing there. 9 episodes for the first season. It did get picked up for a second season.
Sure.
It's shot very much like a television show, or if you will, just like you will see on CBS or any of those drama shows, like the cinematography.
It's no Sopranos.
Oh, definitely not like that. Yeah, it's not as good as that. It's not in the sense of that level of production, right? Mm-hmm. It's from the same creator of Yellowstone and 1883 and the mayor of Kingston, the mayor of Kingston.
I haven't seen that one yet.
But, that's one with Jeremy Renner.
Yes.
The same guy has made this. I personally had trouble at first seeing Sly Stallone playing a mobster. Yes, he's Italian. He's very Italian. But seeing him as Rocky, seeing him as Rambo. I saw Oscar, and I thought the same thing too, where he plays a mobster. Horrible film. I mean, I guess is a good film if you're high or if you just want to waste time in that sense. I remember Kirk Douglas. You like it?
Oscar, it may be a nostalgia thing, but I'd finally remember.
Right, and I mean, I also like the other one he did with Dolly Parton.
Was he a mobster in that one?
No, he wasn't a mobster. He was a taxi driver, and he becomes a singer. She teaches him how to sing. I can't remember off the top of my head.
See, and I can't envision that.
But the thing is, like, Sylvester Stallone has been a staple or that portrayal of Rocky and Rambo when I was younger than you, or before you were born. I mean, I don't know if you did this. I know I did. When I see an actor play a different character, I'm always going to see that person, even when I'm a kid, though, I'm going to see that person as that same character. It's not Sylvester Stallone playing so-and-so, it's Rocky playing that character, or is Rambo playing that character? Because it was so instilled in me that I couldn't, at the time, break from that. And sometimes I still, today, because again, like, I grew up on him, you grew up with him, and it's just like embedded in not my DNA, but my memory of Sylvester Stallone is Rocky, will always be Rocky. He will always be Rambo. So when I see different things that he does, I mean, I do like Demolition Man. That's a fun film. Mm-hmm. I do like the one with him and Dolly Parton. And I can't remember the name right now of that movie. I used to watch it all the time because it was funny.
Well, you know what I just put together? It's like Get Carter meets Oscar. There's like a happy middle ground between the two.
Okay, and Get Carter is actually a remake.
Yeah.
Which was originally done by Michael Caine. Mm-hmm. But I see what you're saying. But again, when I first saw this, I was concerned. I was like, oh no, it's not going to be that good. But then after the second episode into the third one, I started liking it. For like those who, again, who haven't seen it, Sylvester Stallone plays, which is, oh my God, which I find it funny that his name is Dwight.
Yeah.
It's not Italian at all.
Manfredi.
Right, but I'm saying the first name, come on. He plays a guy who's just released from jail. He did 25 years for not snitching. And as a thank you for not snitching, they tell him to go to Tulsa and get some money there. or start a business, like in the sense of like
they're giving him that territory. They're like,
right,
and they're trying to upsell it. Like it's unfarmed land. It's ripe for the riches to take whatever you need and make it your own. And he's like, there's nothing out there. It's like, you're sending me off, and I think they
to
do
die.
to die. And he made it. It was in the trailer where he's talking about like Napoleon, and they put him on an island with the hopes to die, and he finds a way to survive. This is like him finding a way to survive.
He makes friends right away and enemies, but he starts finding the people he can trust, or he can start making his mark in that town. Incidentally, he bumps into someone that from his past that character, that guy, thinks he's there to be killed because he hid. They were friends. But he's thinking, oh no, they found me. And he tries to take care of Dwight, and of course it backfires. And then they become friends again, which I kind of remind me of what's that Steve Martin movie?
Blue Sky.
No, not Blue Sky.
Blue Heaven.
Blue Heaven?
Yeah. Where he's it's Blue Heaven, where he's with the guy from Honey, I Shrunk Your Kids.
Yeah, Rick Moranis.
Yeah, Rick Moranis, and he turned informant.
Mm-hmm. What kind of reminded me of that in that sense, where like that character Armand was Steve Martin's character, and he's hiding, even though there's no cops are involved, no nothing like that. But then he gets found out. He thinks he gets found out. Mm-hmm. And then you have the guy, the weed dealer from Spider-Man.
Was he?
Yeah, he was his teacher. He was the debate coach.
I'm thinking of Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man.
Oh no! I'm talking about the home trilogy. He was kind of like the comic relief there a little bit. There wasn't much comedy at all. No. And you're right. There's not that much action. It was good writing, good acting. I do wish there was more or the conflict of the biker gang.
I mean, there was conflict in two different areas primarily: the biker gang and his mob family back in New York.
Yeah, but not really. I mean, I understand what you're saying, because you have the new son, Chicky, that he wants to take over. He's being nice, trying to be patient, but then he starts doing his thing, and like where his father and where Dwight is trying to move on and not be of the old ways, Chicky still wants to be that way. Like you see him, like he beats up Dwight's son-in-law in the alley.
I would dare say it's not that he doesn't want to be in the old ways. Like they want to be in the old ways. It's Chicky that is not respecting the old ways, because like when he said, we need to take this back to Dwight and like make his daughter pay, that's when his father was.
Oh, I see.
He was like, you dare, like he slapped him. He's like, if you were half the man he was, you wouldn't be talking about like this. You wouldn't do this.
No, what I meant was like, in a sense, like let go, is done. No need to hold the grudges. That's what I was saying. I understand what you're saying in the sense the old ways of like tradition and respect and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. Where Chicky was like, if you come with me with a stick, I'll come with you with a knife. You come with me with a knife, I'll come with you with a gun. Where Dwight and the father, Pete, they're like, let bygones be bygones. It happened, right? Because the thing is with that incident with the son-in-law is because the daughter was raped by one of his men, Pete's men.
Yeah.
That was Dwight's friend as well. He raped her while he was in prison. He took advantage of the situation.
True.
And so what he did, he got revenge, and rightly so. He killed him. Rightly so. He had all the right to do that. But then Chicky was like, how dare he do that in front of me?
Without giving me a heads up or something like that.
The thing is that Chicky wouldn't respect that because Dwight was away for so long. He lost respect of Dwight. And Correct. It was...
And honestly, it was... he went away for something that Chicky did.
Right, exactly.
That's why they say he never snitched. It was Chicky was what was the guy, like a gambler or like he wasn't an informant. He was like just another.
He was he was a part of the team, but he took some money. I think
probably
he was part of the group, but he like took the money and took some money. I believe, can't remember right now, but they were all part of the family, if you will.
And then he was torturing him, and then things got out of hand and started catching on fire. And Dwight couldn't get him free for something that Chicky had started, or Charles. I'm going to just Charles. I don't want to call him Chicky. Charles started the fire, even though it was an accident, tortured the guy, handcuffed the guy. But because the guy couldn't get free, Dwight was like, "I'd rather kill you than let you burn alive."
And rightly so. I mean,
It's a mercy death.
Correct. But I did like the bad guy in Tulsa, the bike gang. He was really
he's
very
a good
charismatic.
Actor.
Oh yeah, he's very charismatic. He played as Richie Coaster. He played Julian Waltrip. I think I'm saying the wrong name. I'm saying the name wrong, I think. But oh my God, it was awesome. It was like he played an Irishman coming into the U.S. and kind of like Dwight, a stranger in a strange land, but able to make it or make a something for himself.
Yeah.
And he got his family, he got his crew, just like pretty much, I bet, similar to how Dwight did it. But he has been there rooted. But I just love to have seen more, or maybe at the end of the season, be a cliffhanger. Like that would be the focus point for season 2.
I guess. Charles could come back for season 2.
Well, I know, but it would have been plenty enough just with that, where Dwight and Chicky is breaking away from each other, like officially. They did in this season, but I would probably like to have seen maybe just them, just to be the focus point, and then, like they did earlier with the biker gang, just have some crumbs to see that there is some beef that he has to handle in his home instead of worrying about what's coming from his old home.
Yeah.
The way the season ended, I'm interested to see how that is, because the thing is also he has his trying to make things right with his daughter, and they finally do, and then he gets arrested because
the ATF agent,
right, the bitch. I'll call it because, come on, he tried to help her.
He wasn't bribing her. That's the really messed up part.
I know. He wasn't. He was just trying to help her out financially because of her career situation.
Yeah. I mean, he honestly, like, you see in the show that he feels guilt for the things that he does.
Right. He's a man. Yeah. He's a man on the road to redemption
through criminal means.
But
like,
it's not perfect.
Yeah. But he recognizes, and he gets called out about it very well by the one little girl from the weed shop. Where he goes, there's a wake. And unless you're on his ship, more likely you're caught in his wake.
Wake or wave?
Well, the wake is like a byproduct of like a boat. It's the same thing, a wave. And this ATF agent definitely was caught up in that. Yeah, I mean, I read that note as, this is like, I feel guilty for what's happened to you. Please take this, to either make amends or to live a life that granted you couldn't live now, but move on with your life.
Yeah, she was more focused about her career, I guess, whatever she had, because she messed up a couple times already on her own. It had nothing to do with him. And all he was trying to do is trying to make things easier for her. Like, she didn't have to say, he gave to me. And it definitely was not a bribe. I mean, she did take a bullet for him.
And she was happy to be there.
He could have ran away, but he stayed trying to make sure she's okay and all this stuff.
Honestly, her relationship with him is her fault. Not the first time was just coincidence. But every other time she saw him out. He never saw her out. No,
and she's a drunk.
Yeah. Yeah, she'll
see her at the bar all the time, and then she'll come over to his place drunk.
Oh, and like she's on the job drunk. And, like they call her out, and like and they told her like, you smell like vodka.
That was the informant.
Exactly, but that was during the day while she was working.
Right. True. I just found that like shitty for what she did. It was like, wow. I mean, it's clear it's not a bribe. The money he gave her, she could have become a private investigator. She could have started a business on her own, or she could have just transferred to another job, what have you, if she wanted to be in law enforcement. She could have done a lot of things with that money that was not a bribe, but she just wanted to save face, and she made it into something that it wasn't.
I mean, honestly, if they'd never renewed for a season 2, that still would have been not a bad ending for season 1.
Right. Is in a way will say like no matter how many times you
Crime don't pay.
Well, that or that you try to do good, the cards are not in your favor.
Yeah, sometimes that just doesn't work out.
Yeah, it doesn't work out. Now, like I said, we mentioned some actors. There's a lot of great actors here. You have also Dana Delaney. She's from China Beach. She was the voice of Lois Lane in the Superman Adventures, the one with Tim Daly playing Superman, that old cartoon. You have Garrett Hoodlin. He was in Tron, the sequel. He was good in this. I liked him. Not that much in it, but enough to make it memorable. And then you have like a cameo, Barry Corbin.
I don't know if I can count it as a cameo because he's in several episodes.
Well, it's like but subtle. It's like not like he has major roles. He's in the bar. He has a liner here too. You see him in the back of the bar or at the table, but he's in a lot of westerns.
Yeah,
and
you can tell by the mustache who this man is. He's got one of those iconic mustaches.
Right, but I didn't recognize him until he spoke because he has, he's bald. He still has that mustache.
He's always been bald.
No, not always.
For a long time, though.
Well, I don't remember. I just remember that voice, though, the iconic voice. And then you have the father of Tyson.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Michael Beach.
Yes.
Great actor, strong presence. I was hoping more from him and have a good relationship with.
They may bring more into him for season 2 because I feel that's not closed.
No. I mean, of course, with him and Tyson having that father-son angst of, the father wants his son to have the best, and being with a gangster is not the best. So he may come back and stuff like that. But no, I just even though it was momentary, the scenes with him and Dwight were good. When I saw that, I just saw two powerful beings in a scene. Again, it was momentary. Maybe one or three scenes, well, definitely more than one, but maybe 3 scenes they had together, and I thought it was great.
Yeah, I liked, and I don't think he's in anything major, but Backface.
Who's that?
The Native American guy.
Oh my God, he was funny. He was funny. He kind of spoke his mind, whatever. It was very robotic.
Yes. Always very, very serious. The part where he goes, he's playing pool and he stands up. He's like, I don't have many friends. So the fact that you felt the need to invite me over to beat in some heads, I'm very honored. I'm like, what?
Friends through violence, I guess.
And then he's like, where's Badface? He's like, he's already in the government system. He's been arrested again.
Oh, and then... So you remember from the Cobra Kai, the last season, where they're in Mexico?
Yeah.
And they're doing the shots. And the guy I told you we did a review on him on that show, that season, where the guy looks like the Predator.
Oh yeah.
He's in this as well. And I'm happy for him. He's his look, I would say unique. He stands out. He's like one of those guys that stands like the Asian dude from Big Trouble in Little China. You see him in all these, when he was in his peak, you saw him in all these movies, but you always knew who he was because he had that Fu Manchu mustache and the long hair.
Yeah.
His name is Angel too.
I'm trying to remember what scene he was in. He
was part of the biker gang. So he'll be in a bar and stuff like that. But the thing is, I always remember his his skull when he'll clench down and it'll shape up like the Predator helmet. So that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. But he's in this. He's getting work, and I'm happy for him. Before we cut this off, one of my favorite scenes. There was a few, but the fight finale scene.
Oh, the bar shootout. Mm-hmm.
That was good, and I love the fact how Dwight took out. I guess I'm having trouble saying the head guy, the Irishman.
Yeah,
and he lifted him up, put his head through the horns, but to finish him off, he saw him, he literally covered his face to shoot him for the blood splatter.
Honestly, it was a bit of overkill because I was quite sure he was dead. And I'm like, he's like, just for good measure, I'm like, okay.
But for me, I did like that scene. And what? Oh my God, I can't remember the music they played.
Oh,
Really good. It was really good.
oh
Was it Metallica? Was it?
no. It was like an '80s joint song or '90s. In the Air Tonight. That's what was playing.
It must have been a remake because that seems too slow for that.
No, because remember they were playing it while they were they were pulling out the bikes, getting ready,
Oh,
and then because in the Air Tonight they have that ramp up, and then they do
right.
do 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 do,
Okay.
and yeah, so it was in the Air Tonight.
This was for me a surprise hit, something I wasn't expecting. I thought it was going to be bad. I thought that.
You went in with lowered expectations.
Yes, there you go. Yes, because you have a megastar, because he still pulls in bank. Sylvester Stallone in his 80s, but
He plays a guy in his 70s in the show.
no, he's actually 70. He's 76. Still looks good, even though he has a little belly. But but so do I. No, he pulled it off. Like I started believing him as a gangster. I believed him as mafioso. He didn't have that New York accent like Armand does when he broke his regular country accent, Western accent that he had, trying to blend in. For Armand sounded like really from New York, and so did other guys up in New York, the mafioso gang, Chicky and all those guys. They sound like that. Sylvester didn't. I'm okay with that as well. Now, with the reviews on IMDb, you have on Rotten Tomatoes 79% from the critics' review, and you have for the audience, you have 91%. I'm with the 91%. 79 is way too low for such a production. A lot of good actors. Even though I would prefer like one focus point, but it does kind of make sense that there's two focus points where he's coming into someone's territory and he's creating waves in that pond. And then you have the people that he left that they don't trust, even though he gave 25 years of his life for that family. They still don't trust him. Yeah, this is definitely worth the watch. I'm definitely going to watch season 2. I'm hooked now. I don't watch Yellowstone. I don't watch 1883. I heard those great things about those shows. I have yet to see those. What about you? Where do you think? Do you think it should be in the 70s, 80s, or 90s?
Low 90s. I'll give it that. Because if they did more with it, or when they're going to do season 2, I'll definitely watch it. I'm going to give it more of a benefit of doubt to enjoy it. And it's not like I don't know how many episodes they'll do for season 2, but 9 episodes felt good. It didn't feel like too many, and didn't feel like too little. I was down for it. It seemed very well balanced, is what I'm going to say.
I would have preferred an even 10. Well, to get a little more in the sense of the biker gang and his gang. Where there's a little more so then the last episode is really.
So maybe like a bottleneck episode where they just focus on the external characters rather than around him.
Maybe, but it was just been, because it was a little bit back and forth with them, but I just wish there was more. I was looking for more. I was hoping for more.
Yeah.
I didn't get it. Now also his daughter, one of his daughters are in it. She plays the waitress who becomes the horse owner.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's one of his daughters. I can't remember her name right now. I can see her face, but I don't know. He has 3 of them, so they're all like blonde. I don't know, so I can't. They all pretty much look alike too. So yeah, I think that's it. Anything else we should cover, or do we miss?
I mean, overall, it's a watch. If you don't have Paramount, you can probably get it for like a week free. More than enough time to binge through it.
You and I are T-Mobile members.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And with the plan I had, I got Paramount for free for a year, as well as Apple TV and Netflix. That's included with my plan. But for those who join T-Mobile, you can get it depending on the plan you have. If you already have a plan, you can check your call your T-Mobile representative, see if you can get it added on for 1 year, so you can watch that show. You can watch other shows. They also have like a lot of times I couldn't get some sports events on my regular TV, like football, for example. I was able to get it there. They have other shows that you can watch that are, again, just exclusive for Paramount. You can't get it anywhere else.
True.
Which is kind of cool. And again, it's just for a year, so it's not that bad for free.
Long story short, check your service provider, see what deals they got.
All right, guys, that is our series review of Tulsa King Season 1. If you have a series you would like us to review, please email us at talesofthetwobros@gmail.com or leave a comment below. Until next time, we'll be the next time. I'm Angel.
I'm Adan.
Love you, bro.
Love you, bro. Me too.